You believe this vitamin protects your body, but it's quietly opening the door to stroke while you sleep. The danger is not in what you feel, but in what you ignore. Stay until the very end, because the final truth I reveal will show you how to protect not just your brain, but your entire path forward. Hidden danger. Let us begin with a simple observation of nature. A seed planted in soil needs water to grow. Without it, the seed will not sprout. Life will not begin. But if you pour a river onto that same seed, you do not create a stronger plant. You wash away the soil. You rot the potential life at its root. The very element that gives life, when delivered without balance, is the same one that brings decay. Our own bodies and the sacred space of our minds follow this same unchanging law. The health of our brain is not a matter of force, but of a delicate and continuous balance. A hidden danger arises when we forget this fundamental truth, often with the purest of intentions. We live in a world that tells us we are incomplete, that we are lacking. This message creates a subtle, constant feeling of unease. To quiet this feeling, we search for something to add, a supplement, a nutrient, a so-called magic bullet that promises to fill the perceived void. The substance we are discussing today, a vitamin praised for its protective qualities, perhaps for blood health or for cell integrity like vitamin E or B6, is a perfect example. It is offered as a shield for the brain, so we take it. And in that moment, we feel we have done something good. We have taken control. But this feeling can be a powerful illusion. What we believe is an act of nourishment may, in fact, be the beginning of a slow, silent flood inside our own vessels. The danger is hidden because it does not feel like a danger. It feels like self-care. It comes in a bottle that promises vitality. The harm is not in the vitamin itself, for in its natural form, found in simple foods, it is a cooperative part of a grander system. But when it is isolated, concentrated to a pharmacological degree, and taken without a deep understanding of its effects, it ceases to be a gentle rain and becomes a relentless pressure. It begins to alter the very environment it was meant to protect. It accumulates day by day, not with a sudden shock, but with a quiet, persistent pressure that our body must constantly struggle to manage. The true danger, therefore, is not the substance, but our misunderstanding of it. A misunderstanding that leads us to believe that more is always better and that we can force the body into a state of wellness rather than patiently cultivating it. Dosage risk. The way of nature is balance. The way of modern thinking is often one of extremes. This thinking has led to a deep and pervasive myth. The myth that the benefit of a substance increases endlessly with the dose. This is a profound misunderstanding of how a living system works. Your body is not a machine that can be forced to run faster by adding more fuel. It is an intelligent, self-regulating ecosystem. Every substance that enters it must be processed, metabolized, and integrated. When the amount of a substance exceeds the body's capacity for harmonious integration, it ceases to be a nutrient and becomes a burden. It becomes a toxin, not because of its nature, but because of its quantity. This is the entire story of dosage risk. Consider the intricate network of vessels that nourish your brain. They are like the soft living banks of a river, designed to be flexible, to yield, and to allow life to flow without obstruction. This softness is a sign of health. When you take a pharmacological dose of a vitamin, an amount far greater than any diet could provide, you are asking this delicate ecosystem to manage an unnatural event. Let us take vitamin B6 as our example. Its purpose is to help clear out certain metabolic byproducts from the blood. But when you flood your system with an isolated synthetic form, it can paradoxically disrupt the very processes it's meant to support. It's like adding too much of one ingredient to a complex recipe. It throws off the entire balance and can create unexpected and unwanted results. The excess begins to put a strain on the entire system. This strain is what leads to a gradual hardening. The soft riverbanks begin to lose their flexibility. The body, struggling to deal with the biochemical imbalance, may allow minerals and other elements to be deposited where they do not belong. The vessels become stiff, brittle. This process is silent. There is no pain, there is only a slow loss of resilience. A stroke, then, is not a sudden attack out of nowhere. It is the final, audible crack of a tree branch that has been slowly dying from the inside for years. It is the culmination of a long period of imbalance. The dosage risk is not just about a single event. It is about contributing to a state of internal rigidity, and anything that makes your inner world more rigid, less able to yield and flow, moves you away from health and vitality. This risk is born from the simple yet powerful error of believing that the path to wellness is a path of more. Warning signals. Before a storm arrives, the sky changes. The wind shifts. The air feels different. There are signals. A living body, like the earth, also provides signals long before a crisis occurs. It speaks, but its language is not one of harsh words. It is a language of subtle sensation, of quiet shifts in our state of being. The problem is not that the body is silent, but that our lives have become too loud to hear its whispers. When we introduce a dosage risk, when we begin to create that internal flood, the body will try to communicate its distress. These are the warning signals. They are not dramatic, but they are clear to one who is willing to listen. One of the first signals may be a change in the quality of your own energy. Not a simple tiredness from a long day, but a deep cellular fatigue. A feeling of heaviness that does not lift with rest. It is a sign that the body is expending tremendous energy just to maintain balance in the face of an overwhelming biochemical pressure. Another signal can manifest as a subtle disruption in your nervous system. A tingling in the hands or feet, a sense of numbness, or what many call brain fog. A state where the mind feels cloudy, slow, and unable to find its usual clarity. We often dismiss these signals. We tell ourselves we are just tired, stressed, or getting older. Or, in a tragic turn of irony, we may believe these signals are a sign that we need more of the very supplement that is causing the disturbance. To recognize these signals requires a shift in our attention, away from the external world and into our own direct experience. It asks us to practice inner listening. This is a discipline. It means taking a few moments each day to sit in stillness, to close your eyes, and to simply feel your internal state without judgment. Is there a sense of ease and flow, or is there a quiet tension, a subtle vibration of unease? Does your digestion feel calm and settled? Is your sleep deep and restorative? The body's language is holistic. A disturbance in your vascular health may not send a signal directly from your blood vessels. It may send it through your gut, your sleep, or your nervous system. By learning to honor and investigate these gentle whispers, you empower yourself to make adjustments long before the body is forced to scream for attention in the form of a major health crisis. These warning signals are a gift of awareness. We must only be quiet enough to receive them. Personalized care. In our world, there is a strong tendency to seek universal answers. We want the one diet, the one exercise, the one supplement that works for everyone. But this desire for a universal solution, while understandable, moves us away from a deeper truth. Each one of us is a unique landscape. The same amount of sun that nourishes one plant may scorch another. The same amount of rain is a blessing to one field and a flood to another. True care, therefore, cannot be universal. It must be personal. It requires you to become the gentle and attentive guardian of your own unique inner world. To blindly follow a trend, to take a high-dose supplement because an advertisement or an article suggested it for brain health is to ignore your own sacred individuality. Personalized care begins with a fundamental shift in perspective. You move from being a passive follower of external advice to being an active partner with your own body. This partnership is built on communication. One of the most effective ways to communicate with your body on a biochemical level is through careful testing. Seeing a compassionate health guide or a doctor to have your blood levels checked is not an admission of weakness. It is an act of profound respect. It is you, the guardian, humbly asking your inner landscape, what is your state? What do you truly need? This act replaces guessing with knowing. It provides you with a map of your own terrain, showing you where there might be a genuine need and, just as importantly, where you already have enough. This map allows you to make conscious, informed choices rather than reactive, fearful ones. Perhaps you discover that your levels of a certain nutrient are perfectly adequate, and adding more would only create a burden. This knowledge liberates you from the anxiety of needing to take another pill. Perhaps you discover a true imbalance that needs to be addressed, but now you can do so with precision and care, using the correct form and dosage for your specific needs, always in concert with professional guidance. Personalized care is the path away from the noise of the marketplace and toward the wisdom of your own biology. It is the practice of honoring your uniqueness, and it is a rejection of the idea that your complex and beautiful system can be managed by a one-size-fits-all mass-market solution. True care is always a dialogue, never a command. Holistic brain. The health of your brain cannot be found exclusively in a bottle. To believe so is to focus on a single leaf while ignoring the roots, the trunk, and the branches of the entire tree. The brain is not an isolated organ floating in a void. It is profoundly interconnected with every other system in your body. Its well-being is a direct reflection of your holistic health. The strength and clarity of your mind are built not upon a single powerful ingredient, but upon a foundation of simple, consistent, and fundamental daily practices. This is the holistic path to a resilient brain, a path that is both more powerful and more sustainable than any supplement strategy. The first pillar of this foundation is the conscious use of your breath. The breath is the bridge between your mind and your body. A life lived with shallow, rapid, chest-level breathing keeps the nervous system in a constant state of low-grade alert. This state constricts blood vessels and creates a tense internal environment. Conversely, the practice of slow, deep, diaphragmatic breathing sends a powerful signal of safety and calm throughout your entire being. This simple act opens the channels, improves circulation, and brings a quality of peacefulness to the mind that allows it to function with ease. Devoting even 5 minutes, several times a day, to mindful breathing is a profound act of brain care. The second pillar is movement. A body in gentle motion is a body that is alive and cleansed. Mindful movement, whether it is walking, stretching, tai chi, or qigong, is not about punishment or exhaustion. It is about circulation. It helps to move the blood, the lymph, and the very energy of the body, preventing the stagnation that can lead to disease. This flow is what keeps your brain's vessels clean and flexible. The third pillar is whole nourishment, eating simple, real food that your body recognizes. The vitamins and minerals in food are delivered within a complex, intelligent matrix that the body understands, unlike the brute force of an isolated chemical. When you build your life upon these pillars, breath, movement, and true nourishment, you are creating a deep, unshakable foundation of health. The brain does not need to be saved by a miracle pill. It needs to be supported by the consistency of a wise and holistic lifestyle, balanced path. We arrive now at the heart of the matter. The journey toward health is not a race to accumulate more. It is a patient walk toward finding balance. We are led to believe that security comes from adding more shields, more protections, more external substances. But this endless quest for more often becomes the source of our deepest imbalances and anxieties. The balanced path suggests a different way. It suggests that perhaps true power lies not in what we can add, but in what we have the wisdom to leave out. It is the path of simplicity, of understanding what is truly essential and letting go of the rest. This begins with letting go of fear. The fear of deficiency, the fear of not being enough, the fear of falling ill. This is the fuel that drives the market for excessive supplementation. But choices made from fear rarely lead to a place of peace or balance. They lead to tense, reactive decisions that often create more problems than they solve. The balanced path is chosen not from fear, but from a place of trust, a deep and abiding trust in the profound intelligence of your own body. It is the understanding that if you provide it with the simple, essential conditions for health, It has a miraculous capacity to regulate and heal itself. This way requires awareness more than it requires action. It is the awareness to choose a simple, nourishing meal over a complicated chemical concoction. It is the awareness to choose a quiet walk in nature over a frantic search for the next solution online. It is the awareness to notice how you feel after you eat, how you sleep, how you breathe, and to honor that feedback above all else. By removing the unnecessary burdens, the excessive doses, the processed foods, the constant stream of anxious information, you create space. And in this space, your body can find its equilibrium. The rivers within can clear, the hardened banks can soften, and the mind, freed from the exhausting pursuit of more, can finally become still, clear, and whole. This is the essence of true protection. It is not an aggressive defense, but a peaceful and powerful state of balance. True protection for your brain comes from mindful balance, not more pills or shortcuts. Listen deeply to your body, seek clarity in your choices, and remember, simplicity holds the greatest power to keep your mind whole and free. Have you ever taken a supplement thinking it was harmless, only to find out it could cause harm? What changes did you make afterward? Share your story below.